I'm Chef Stacy. You're here at Journey Christian Church in Apopka, Florida. Right now, we're in this new sermon series called Stepping into New Normals. Everyone has got a new normal right now. Over the past year, I've discovered that some of the things that we're doing now and some of the things that have become our new normals have actually been blessings. But one thing that everyone is talking about is immunity. That word pops up everywhere. How do we boost our immune system? Today, we're gonna teach you some recipes that can help you do just that. But we're gonna start with what's on your plate. If you're eating colorful plates of food, you're probably getting a lot of the immunity and the nutrients that you need. Spinach, oranges, red bell, sweet potatoes, broccoli, those are the foods that you need to be putting on your plate. If you're eating plates of foods that are just brown and light colored tans and beiges, you're probably eating a lot of just items that are just burgers and fries. But I want to challenge you to pop some color onto your plate. So I know that you're not going to run out to the store and just buy a rainbow of food that you probably don't normally eat, but I want you to take a small step. Over the quarantine period, I discovered these exercise videos on YouTube, and the trainer would always say, it's about progress, not perfection. That little saying has really resonated with me. Progress, not perfection. So if I can get you to start looking at your plate of food and start saying, I need a pop of color on here, that's progress. That's making a good decision for your body. That's gonna help boost your immune system. So let's get started. We're gonna start talking about pasta first. I'm really not a big pasta eater, but when I do choose pasta, I like to choose what I call brown over white. Whenever it's bread, rice, or pasta, I try to go with brown rice or whole grains. I like to choose things with high fiber. That's what I look for because high fiber is gonna make me feel fuller longer and it's gonna digest into my body slower. Now, when I'm in the grocery store, there are a myriad of choices for pasta these days. I saw quinoa, I even saw cauliflower pasta. I have never even tasted that one. There's red lentil, there's black bean, there's veggie packed pastas. But I want you to become a label reader. I want you to read the label. Check out the calories. Sometimes the white and rich pastas are just a little bit higher in calories, but they don't have any fiber. So read your label and pick the best decision for you. If you're gluten-free, there's gluten-free varieties out there. If you're diabetic, in the produce section, I was seeing all the vegetables that they've turned into noodles. I saw zoodles, the zucchini noodles. There's so many options for you. But today, I'm using this. When I boil my pasta, and I've got some here on the stove that I just made, I like to boil it. Once the water becomes to a hot boil, then I'll add my little bit of sea salt to it. Now, when my pasta is ready, and if I'm not gonna eat it quickly, I'm gonna spray just a little bit of olive oil seasoning, a little olive oil cooking spray on it. I just don't want my noodles to stick together until I'm waiting to toss it into my sauce. But we're gonna start on the sauce now. I'm gonna leave this on the stove until it's still got steam in there. Alrighty, the first thing we're gonna start with is some sun-dried tomatoes. Now, I've chosen the sun-dried tomatoes that come in a jar with the oil in them. They come up, they're just a little bit softer. You can almost eat them right out of the jar. When you get them in the package, in the produce section, and they're just in the dry packet, sometimes they're very dry, and you gotta hydrate them a little bit. So I like the kind that are in a little oil. Plus, you can drain some of the oil, the olive oil that's in there, and there you go. That's what you can cook with. I love the taste of these. Plus, a little fact is, sun-dried tomatoes are high in vitamin C. Vitamin C is the win right now. So let's get those going in the pan. Red bell, another really, really great source of vitamin C. But when you want a red bell, let me show you how I cut it up. I cut off the ends. Some people call this the box cut, but if you just go right around the sides like that, you can cut off the little white part really easily. It's almost cutting it like a box. And then all the seeds and everything pretty much stay intact. Toss that away. Now these don't have to be cut perfectly diced or anything, especially for spaghetti. You just want everything a nice rustic cut. We're gonna start throwing everything in the pan. We're making our own sauce today. A lot of times when you get the store-bought pasta sauces, they have a lot of ingredients in them. A lot of things that you don't need. A lot of added ingredients. I was on my Facebook page the other day, and you know how people always do all those little surveys and questions and they want everybody to answer? One of the questions was, do you add sugar to your spaghetti? And I laughed because my answer is no. I don't add sugar to my spaghetti, but there's a lot of people that do. One thing about pasta is it's a carb and it breaks down into glucose in your body. So you're actually kind of getting sugar. So I try not to add sugar to mine. So we're making a no sugar recipe today, just so you know. All righty. We're adding the red bell. Get that going in here. I want you to keep noticing how colorful all of this is gonna be. That's what we're going for. Look at my apron. Splash of color. That's what I want you to remember about this cooking session today. Make your food pop with color. Red bell in the pan. Sauteing. I love the sound and the smell of sauteing. Next, mushrooms. I even just recently learned this. Mushrooms have zinc in them. Zinc is one of the buzzwords for immunity this year. I started even taking a little zinc. Zinc is in my vitamins, so I chose portobellos. I like portobellos because they're heartier. They've just got a little bit more meat to them. So we're gonna add some portobello mushrooms in there. And again, the purpose of this is we're trying to have foods that boost immunity. So we've got our sun-dried tomatoes, we've got red bell, we've got portobello mushrooms. The one thing about making pasta is hopefully you can avoid the high-calorie sauces and the high-calorie cheeses and replace it with protein and lots of veggies. That's gonna make your pasta nutrient-packed. Let's go for the seasonings now. Garlic. Garlic is good for the immunity system. And I've heard this, I've been told that it wards off mosquitoes. We live in Florida, mosquitoes are everywhere. Garlic in your system is good. Since I'm such a lover of garlic, I do a layer of garlic. I do the minced and I do the granulated. Got a little oregano. I wish you could smell all these seasonings. Got some basil. Fresh grown basil is just one of my favorites. Alrighty, now, if you know me and seen me in the past, I like a little spice. If you don't want to add this little bit of crushed red bell pepper, you don't have to add it, but I'm adding a little spice in there. All right, I'm gonna grab my chicken. I bought some chicken thighs. Now, I'm a dark meat girl. I like the dark meat. I like the legs, I like the wings. If you like breast meat or if you just want to do chicken tenders in your spaghetti, go right ahead. Perfect. I've got some cut up thighs here. And we're just gonna let all of this cook up. It's already smelling so good, and I haven't had lunch yet today, so. Those seasonings are just filling the air. There's nothing like making your own pasta sauce, especially when you can let it cook for a while and let those seasonings meld together. It's the best. Little chunks of dark meat in there. You get your pops of protein. I'm gonna put that bowl over there. Since we're making our own sauce, we're not adding a tomato sauce. We're gonna add fresh tomatoes. I have some nice firm Roma tomatoes here. And we're gonna just let them meld with all this good veggie we got going. Tomatoes are another good source of lycopene, good stuff for you. And again, we're getting the pops of color. Remember, Stacy told you, I need color on my plate. I want you to start thinking of yourself as a Picasso. Think of yourself as a painter, and your plate is the palette. You want to splash it with color. And again, a rough cut. They don't have to be perfectly diced. And we're gonna just let this cook. And ahead of time I cut up, this recipe calls for 4 Roma tomatoes, and I cut up 2 earlier. Throw this all in there. Now, if you have kids, and kids eat with their eyes just like adults do when you go to a restaurant and you want your plate to be colorful, look at that. Look at all the vibrancy. You're getting good stuff here. My thighs are cooking. The seasonings are all melding together. I'll turn it up just a little so we can get that cooking. But while that is simmering, we're gonna toss a salad. Pasta and salad are the best combination. If you ever have trouble getting your kids to eat salad, this is the salad for you. Today we're gonna make a fruit and honey salad. We're gonna use spinach only because spinach has so many helpful properties. I'm gonna grab a little plate here. So I have that ready. But I'm gonna mix up a little salad dressing first. This salad dressing takes a 1/3 cup of olive oil. Now this is raspberry vinegar. I absolutely love to make my own salad dressings. I don't think I've bought a salad dressing in a while. I keep in my pantry at home a whole array of flavored vinegars. I have a pear, I have a champagne, I have peach. I love vinegars. Toss those with some olive oil. You have your own dressings. Then you know what's in the dressing. You know that you're not getting added sugar. You know you're not getting added preservatives. But balsamic is probably my favorite. And this one is a little raspberry balsamic. Balsamic is sweet. Now we're gonna get a 1/4 of a cup of this. You want a little bit more olive oil than vinegar so that it's not too tart. But with this recipe, we're going for a little bit of a tart taste because we're gonna add some jam to it. So I got a 1/4 cup of this raspberry balsamic vinegar. Add that in there. It takes 2 tablespoons of honey. This is my little trick. So when you're pouring honey and it always sticks to the jar or something, sticks to your spoon, spray a little olive oil in there. And then your honey slides right out of the tablespoon. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil there, or honey. See how that just slid right out? Perfect. I learned that trick a long time ago. All right, a little honey. And this is seedless raspberry jam. Now, I have made the mistake before of buying the raspberry jam with the seeds, and then your salad dressing is filled with seeds. It's not the ideal situation. Look for the seedless raspberry jam. Pour a little of that in there. All righty. whisk this up. Look at that, how that's coming together. And the vinegar helps break down the raspberry jam, but that's giving you your sweetness without adding any more sugar. Plus, your kids will love this. And I know your kids are probably just used to eating ranch. This is a really good alternative. What I like about this dressing too is that if you're a raw vegetable eater and you just like carrots or cucumbers or something like that, this is a great one to have in your fridge to dip those kind of veggies in when you're watching TV. Ah, look at that. Ha ha. I'm gonna give this a little stir here. Our chicken is looking good. Again, look how colorful this is. Pops of color on your plate. I love it. Can you hear the sizzle? The smell of basil in your house is just amazing. We have this little herb garden out behind the church. Even when I go out there to pluck it, then my hands smell like the fresh basil. All right, let's get back to the salad. We've got some spinach. A few little pieces of spinach on your plate. Spinach has so many healthful properties, I can't even explain them all to you. Spinach is just gold, and we're gonna add some spinach to our pasta too. You're getting double the spinach today. Look at this. You think you can get your kids to eat this on a salad? Fresh berries. Choose any fresh berries you want. You can add blueberries to this. Look at this, some raspberries, blackberries. I've got some quartered strawberries here. Oh. Ooh, get on the plate there. Look how pretty that is. Pops of color. Pops of color. Ah, look at that. And this is to top it off, a little protein. I'm using macadamia nuts today. See, I discovered that macadamia nuts are high in antioxidants, just like our berries are. And antioxidants, they help get rid of the free radicals. They help protect your cells. And that, when your cells are protected, then your body has a better chance of fighting off illness. Antioxidants are good. So I've got some macadamia nuts. Whew. If you have almonds at home, use almonds. I love different nuts. Last night I was at home after I did a workout and I just wanted a little pop to eat, a little protein in me. Oh, so I had some dark chocolate, some nuts. Look how pretty this is. Oh, I think you can get your kids to eat that. Journey moms, you can get your kids to eat that. Lastly, we're gonna take a little bit of this sauce. I need a spoon here. Take a little bit of this raspberry vinaigrette. Drizzle that over your fruit. You can even use this dressing as a dessert over your fresh berries. Look at that. So good. You can even get the non-salad eaters to eat this. And if you get bored eating the same kind of salad all the time, this is a perfect alternative. Look at that. Wait till we put the pasta with that. Come back to our chicken. It's looking really good. The thighs are just cooking well. The tomatoes are breaking down, becoming a little more saucy. And we're going to add some fresh spinach and just a little salt and pepper. I'm using sea salt. I always use sea salt or kosher salt. It's a little coarser grind than your regular iodine salt, and you get more flavor for less salt. Now see, we've got the pops of green that are coming in here. We've got the red from your tomatoes. You got two kinds of tomatoes in there. Look how pretty that is. The spinach wilts up really well. And if you've got someone in your family who's not a big spinach eater, you can cut it up into smaller pieces. Last but not least, we're gonna add the pasta in. Pour that in there. Now, some people like to put the pasta on the plate and then put this all on top. Either way, whatever you're most comfortable with. You can mix it all in. I love easy recipes. And like I said, we're gonna turn you into food Picassos. Look how colorful. Now, you could take this just like that, put it on a little trivet or a little pad on your table, set this right down on your table. See, if I was at home, I'd get a big bowl of this. If that's not making you hungry. To top this off, just do a light drizzle of olive oil. See how I'm just doing a few little drops there? Light drizzle of olive oil. And if you have kids, you gotta add a little bit of cheese. So I'm adding some Parmesan. A little Parmesan Reggiano. Ha-ha. And we've got some fresh basil from the garden. Woo! Looky there. Ha ha ha. I love fresh basil. This is dinner. And one last thing, I'm into sparkling waters now. I've got just a little lemon lime sparkling water. Squeeze some fresh fruit into it. This replaces my soda. I've got my squeeze of orange in there. You've got all your vegetables and proteins that are giving you your nutrient and immunity boost. Picasso on a plate. That's what I want you to remember. When you're thinking about your new normal, think about color on your plate. If you're getting color on your plate, you're getting the vegetables and minerals and vitamins. You're getting a variety that you need. So try popping some color on your plate. When you walk through the produce section, look at what you're not eating. Next month, maybe we'll try some oranges and get some butternut squash and stuff like that going. But put some color on your plate. If you love watching these videos, please go to journeychristian.com/cooking with Chef Stacy. They've got the recipes there that you can easily download, or you can simply go to Journey's YouTube channel and subscribe and and set the notifications, and then that way you know when the next show is coming up. So please let us pray for you, let us bless your families, and let us keep our immunity strong so we're all here healthy and here so that we can get back together again. Thank you for coming. I gotta eat, you guys.